everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Army Lifestyle Live discussion. My name is Dani, and today we'll be chatting with Ikran. Many of you are already familiar with her, but for those that need a refresher, Ikran is a reporter for BuzzFeed, started one of the first Army fan bases in the UK, and holds an admirable badge of honor as a pre-debut Army. Welcome, Ikran, and we're so happy to have you join us today.
Hi, thanks for having me. Really excited to do this.
We're really excited to speak with you today. Before we dive into the conversation, for those of you that are watching, our Q&A chat room is live on Fave right now. So feel free to comment there and ask any questions. I'll look through and pick a couple to ask live, but Ikran and I will be there for a full Q&A right after, okay? So let's get started. Ikran, our first question to you is, when did you discover BTS and what was that experience like for you?
So it was either February or March 2013, and it was actually through my sister. She was really into choreography and stuff like that, and at the time I was like 1 foot in K-pop, 1 foot out, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it anymore. And she found a choreography video of Triple J, as we know them, and she showed me the video. The editing of it looks a bit dodgy now, but at the time we were like, wow, this is great. And then we just delved into their YouTube and then just fell in love with their covers. And I remember thinking like, oh, what if we don't like their debut songs? But we did, thankfully. And it was the end of March that we made the UK Bangtan UK. We joined the fan cafe, but we basically tried to be involved in any way we could because we were like, something just was like, just grabbed us straight away, and I don't know, we were in deep from the beginning.
February or March of 2013. That's amazing. What is it like to see BTS grow from 2013 to now?
It's insane because even like, yes, the international fandom was tiny, but the Korean fandom, that was tiny too. So we had our like go-to accounts on like Twitter and Tumblr that we'd watch for like updates nonstop. So I'm so sorry.
So you're telling me we're blessed nowadays?
Decline. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah. So we knew the accounts to go to. We knew every like update. We had like alarms and stuff. So when we saw showings, we could see the size of the fandom. But in 2014, I went to Korea. I had my membership, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see some shows. When I tell you I couldn't get in, it was pretty packed. There were already a lot of fans because I think we assumed from like online involvement on Twitter, because the social media we used and that the ones that they used were not the same at the time. So like they would be more on neighbor blogs and stuff, and we would be more on Twitter and Tumblr. So I think there was this massive disconnect of what we thought the fandom was until we got there and we saw like on the ground, just like how they were part of like university festivals. They were the music shows. If you weren't there at way before 8 a.m., there was no way you were getting in. And if you didn't buy like a load of albums, there was no way you're going to get into the signing. So the album signing stuff, we didn't even bother because I was a broke student. There was no way I was ever going to get that. But I tried with the festivals and I tried with the showings. It just wasn't possible.
So you would try to get into BTS's events, but those were pre-packed?
Yeah.
See, there's a reason why they were called monster rookies, right?
Yeah, literally. I think it was this weird phase in K-pop where there were just so many rookies. There were so many, and they just stood out from all of them. And despite all the nonsense with the TV channels and the broadcasting agencies, they still stood out. And I think it's amazing. Like they've gotten so far from that. Yes. Now everyone begs them to be on their shows. So
okay, thank you so much. That sounds like a huge ride. I can't even imagine. So we were talking a little bit about the UK fan base. You
Yes.
started one of the first UK fan base for ARMY and BTS. Could you explain the process on how you started that, and what has it been like to see that fan base grow from beginning to now?
So my sister and I decided to delegate the duties amongst ourselves. Um, Her Korean was slightly better than mine, and we had like alarms. We would set it at like 4 a.m. and 7 8, like different times, just to make sure that we were posting content and listening and watching live streams and stuff, so that we were posting everything. We tried to do like fan projects, so we sent them like tea, Union Jack, and like a signed thingy from fans.
Did you get a lot of response at the beginning? I'm curious.
At first, no, but I kind of not brainwashed. I made my friends armies. I made everyone around me an army. It was if you made the playlists in the right order, it was very hard not to become one. It was just like a smooth transition from like the cover songs into like No More Dream, and then here you go. Here's watch Rookie King. Watch this. Watch that. Watch this show. And then before they knew it, they're like, okay, I want to send them a letter now too. And they were just giving in. And then a few years later, we had more admins come on, so we spread it out and stuff. And then we joined this like union called Army League, and we had this idea called Who is BTS, and it involved QR codes. Hello, big hit. And we put them on posters, and it would
Yeah,
play a music video. I can't remember which music video it was.
that's
We
so
had made a
smart.
Twitter account, and we just plastered it all around London, and other fans did it for their areas and other countries. So it was like this joint effort that we did. I hope it made armies. I haven't heard of a Who's BTS Army, but yeah, we did some guerrilla marketing for them.
No, yeah, that was so cool. You basically planted the seed and slowly watered it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so cool. You're also a journalist.
I
When
am.
did you start your career as a journalist, and why did you choose this path?
I always thought I started like when I started uni, but in hindsight, I realized I actually started it when I was like 14. I was reading Princess Diaries, and
Okay.
in the back of it, they were looking for princess ambassadors. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, this is cool. I'll sign up. Teenager put her information on the internet. Anyways, I get this email back, and it's like, oh, you've been accepted. And I used to get like books, the Princess Diaries books. And when they finished, I started getting books from the publishers, and they were like, oh, post a review on a blog. So I made a blog, and I was reviewing books. So that could arguably be my first step into
Okay.
journalism, because I was reviewing books. And then I started writing for like little blogs. I wrote for K-pop blogs, always about BTS.
Nice,
There's
nice.
probably a track record of me writing about watch the No More Dream music. I'm being dead serious. There is a review somewhere out there, somewhere. And then I started writing for like local news blogs, and then my university paper, and then I did a TV thing for 6 months. Most of it scrubbed off the internet. Do not look for it.
Okay.
And then I ended up at BuzzFeed. So here I am.
First of all, you've been pushing it since 14.
I
That's
know.
really cool. So, why did you choose this path? You've been doing it since 14, since you
I
were
did it for
14.
fun.
For
I used to
funsies?
write for fun. I didn't see it as like literally the day before the university deadline to choose your university. I grabbed a magazine, and I was like to my media teacher, I was like, what do I pick if I want to do this? And she's like, journalism. And I was like, oh, okay, can I change my thing? And she's like, okay. And then I changed it. It was literally the day before the deadline, and I had to rewrite. Such a journalist. thing to do. I had to rewrite my personal statement, and I had to pick new universities to apply to. But yeah, I went into it for fun. It's sometimes a nightmare now, but I'm still in it for the fun.
That's a really nice story. You love what you're doing. So
Yeah.
what do you enjoy most about writing?
I think I like that it's basically real life, and you can make a difference. I also just loved consuming it so much, and now I'm part of that process, and that's really cool to me. Yeah, I just really like making the news, writing it, finding things. I find news in the most random spots. So my mom being the biggest one,
Shout out, mom.
literally. There's WhatsApp forwards, every single one of them.
Okay. Very good. Well, as a journalist, you've written a lot of different articles on BTS, from the most iconic moments to ARMY projects to backlash BTS and ARMY often receive. So, why do you think it's important as a journalist to diversify your stories?
I think in general, it's important to make sure that you're telling the truth. So in those stories with armies, obviously I felt like they were just screaming out for help and no one was covering anything until I started to look at things with like a professional and serious eye, not in like a mocking, these armies are screaming, blah, 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 look how angry they are kind of tone. But essentially, there are bigger corporations usually at play who have screwed fans over, not just armies, just fandoms in general. And I think it's important that journalists do tell their stories, and with like a discerning eye too, because there is a lot going on. Because like even with this Ticketmaster stuff, I'm still trying to see if there's a way in, but there's just so much happening. Literally, I
Yeah.
think if someone was literally just an army reporter, they would have so much to write.
You're actually the first person that came to mind when this Ticketmaster fiasco happened. So I'm just sprinkling the idea in there, just so you know.
I'm doing so much right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I
I'll
look
put it
forward to it.
if I had the time, I would do it, but
Mhm.
I genuinely just have too much on my plate. Genuinely. You know I would do it, but
Mhm.
I have committed to things.
I still want to hear what you have to say soon, though. I'll see you on Twitter. Don't worry. I don't worry. I trust you on that.
It'll be there. It'll be there.
Fantastic. Okay, y'all heard it here. You can look forward to that too. 140 characters, maybe, but you'll hear something.
280.
To me, stuck 7 years in the past. Thank you, Ikran.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what were your favorite pieces that you wrote on either BTS or ARMY?
I think there was one, like the first ever one I did. Oh, I can't remember what it was. I just think I loved the reaction because everyone was like, it was the mic drop Obama one. That's what it was. People just didn't see that coming. It was so funny. And even then afterwards, people didn't stick around to see what else could be coming. It was just so funny. The reaction from armies was hilarious. And people were like, oh my God, she said rap monster. I didn't have a choice. Okay. I didn't have a choice. Until we changed it formally, I couldn't change it.
Oh, nice. Well, I like that article. Recommend it, everybody, to go check it out. It was a good time. It was a very good time.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're writing these pieces, like you just mentioned that you're a very busy person and you'd like to do more, but you're just busy. You're only human. So how do you stay on top of news considering there's just, like you said, so much happening within the BTS and ARMY community and, well, pop culture overall?
I'm not gonna lie, I do struggle, but I should do this more. But I have like a system where I try to list everything and then see what I can do quickly now and what I can do in the future, like as a longer piece or something. Or I'll speak to my manager and say, like, these are all the things happening. What should I do? Literally, I'll literally just ask for help sometimes, like, because I can't do it on my own at the end of the day. There is probably sometimes 5 people who looked at a piece like you saw. I don't know.
So you do have a system. You're human. You have to prioritize your things, and some things that you may not want to wait on may have to wait.
Yeah, unfortunately. Some things might come like a year later, but the game, not the game's the game. It's just the system.
A whole
It's
year?
how it is. It is how, yeah, there is something I started last year, September, and I'm only working on it properly now, so.
You can't rush perfection, Ikran. So I get it.
It's the news cycle. It changes every minute. You will like deprioritize something like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then the news cycle moves on and you're like, that's it. It's gone. I'll be back. I'll be back. Like, I will be back. I don't know when, but I'll be back.
Miss the train. I'll catch the next one.
Literally the next one in 365 days.
Okay. Well, a little lighter then. What is a recent or past Army run project you've seen that you thought was really inspirational or cool?
What do you mean?
As in, have you ever seen any, well, not have you ever seen, I apologize. Has there been any recent Army projects or past Army projects that were very memorable for you?
Oh, I like the ribbon, the purple ribbon, the most, I think. That should be a thing now, full stop, because of social distancing. But I don't know how it all went down in the airports this time. I have no clue. But I think that was really cool, and I think like outside of seeing that was like, wow, armies are really cool. And like when armies were sending cupcakes and stuff to media people, that was cute. That was adorable.
So, in those two occasions, what is it that you really thought was cool about it? Or like really inspirational or something that
it's the way it reached the general public, but in the same way the charitable moments also reach the general public, like the Black Lives Matter donations and almost every, like the food, what was it? Why has the word left my head? It was James Corden, even though we don't like him anymore. What was the charity project that Sarah Jane Cheeky helped start? What was it? It was like donations for food.
Oh, for kids in hunger, but like
yes, meals.
Yes. Yes.
What is the name?
Meals for the underprivileged. You guys can help us in the comments. Tell us.
It's 11 p.m. for me. My words. Bedtime.
But yes, that was a big project. You're right. It grabbed a lot of people's attention and really made them say, "This fan base, what are they doing? They did that." You're right.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one thing that made an immediate difference. Like one charity, like I think the Black Lives Matter one, they were receiving gazillion donations, so that's something that will play out over a really long time. I guess I don't know how they're going to use their monies, but plus I think it was like different charities. But anyways, let's not get into the logistics. But I think there's just so many projects that just keep coming back to me. Yeah, there's just a lot. There's a lot. Armies have done a lot. Very wholesome.
Yeah, you're right. It's really hard to keep up.
Wholesome vibes. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Well, we've reached a halfway point. So since we're speaking about Army so much, let's see if there's any comments or questions in the chat room. And let's see. Oh, this one's good. All right, Ikran. What has been your favorite BTS moment since you have witnessed their journey pre-debut? Tough question, huh?
Oh, I can't do that.
Is there one that made you laugh from the belly, or
One, you know what? You're gonna hate me, but I'm only saying this because
try
I
me?
think it was just so American Hustle Life.
Mhm.
That whole series, my mum watched it as well.
Uh-huh.
And I think that was like the stuff with Coolio, specifically that. It was so accessible. I feel like if they had that show now, minus some things, if they had that show now, it would do so well, I honestly think. I have so many memes in my phone, literally, of BTS in
Regarding
general. What? It's just their banter. There's just so much. They can't pick one moment. J-Hope being thrown in a pool.
when Tay came in with the ponytails.
Literally. There's just so many moments in general. Like, you can't ask me to pick from, what is it, 8 years now?
You're right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Eight
You're right.
times
It's an unfair
365?
question.
No, I can't do that.
It's an
It's
unfair question.
unfair.
You're right.
How about you
You're
pick one? Yeah.
Dang, she pulled out her journalist side. Okay. Put me on the spot.
I feel like I should answer how BTS would, and they would say all of them. That's RM. He would say all of them.
Okay, that's fair. Sounds fair.
He would.
Okay, well, thank you for that question. It's a good one. You got us do our own banter here. So thank you to that user. Okay, so back to your interviewing. You had interviewed BTS back in 2018. Actually, in fact, it was the anniversary of the interview 2 days ago on October 8th. So,
Yes.
well, 2 days ago for me. What was that feeling like from the moment you stepped into the room all the way to the end?
They were still being interviewed by someone when I got into the room, and I started freaking out, and the PR and everybody there, they still hadn't noticed that I was a fan. Somehow. And then they were being mic'd up, and they were like, okay, are you ready to go? Sorry, we can't keep giving them the laptop. You're going to have to hold the whole laptop and do the quiz for all 7 of them. And I was like, shit. I was like, oh, we cannot swear on fave. Oh, okay. Whoopsie.
That's how she felt, though.
But
the
yes,
honest truth.
sugar. Yeah, I was just like, I was very close to just freezing, but I was like, okay, let me just go with it. Just go with it. And I went in, I said hi, and I don't think they were expecting to hear the hi before the cameras started rolling. And then Tay said hi back, and the rest of them were like, and I was like, literally, if there was, they almost did put a camera on me, but I decided we need to put that one on BTS, none on me. I was just like this the whole time. My face in the picture, that was just me the entire 20 minutes. Yeah, the entire 20 minutes. I was just grinning. I'm filling out. I'm doing their quiz, and I'm just like, I don't know what you're saying right now. I'm joking. I did know what they were saying, but I was just so focused on hearing their questions because I obviously have 7 tabs open. And they're going so fast. I'm just like, slow down. I missed like Jin saying UK Hustle Life, and that wouldn't have happened if they had their laptop. I would have heard that. But it's fine. Got to hear that in hindsight, and then I got to ambush them at the end. Not the ambush, but tell them very quietly, "Hi, I'm a fan. Don't let the other people in this room hear."
So you were undercover for a hot minute.
For a good 20 minutes. And then when I was leaving, I turned and the lady was like, "Oh, you like BTS?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been a fan for this." And then all I can see, I can feel someone just like walking me out, and I'm like, "It's fine. I know they needed to eat. I was gonna leave anyway."
Oh,
But yeah.
if you remember, I sent you that picture. For those of you that don't know, I have memed Ikran before because that picture is so iconic to me, where you just are surrounded by all seven, and it's like you
I
don't
miss
know what
Mr.
to do.
Krabs. Oh yeah, because
And you're
at first they were like, "Stand," and I'm like, "Okay," because that's how the last person took their picture or something, or they had the seat that was there and they moved it.
yes.
But then Jimin got up, and I'm like, "He sat in the seats." My brain just started freaking out, and the camera was still rolling. That's the only reason I was able to get that moment. And then when I got to the office, I was like, "I'm putting in Mr. Krabs." I wasn't even working that day. I volunteered. I never claimed that day off.
I can die happy. I can die happy knowing the story behind the Mr. Krabs meme. Thank you, Ikra.
I did that for free. The BTS interview was for free.
How absolutely fantastic. I I just remember seeing it, and I have to admit, I think I laughed like for 2 years. Like, like she's surrounded by BTS. Is that how stressful it is? Is it because they're tall? And now I know why.
They are so tall. They are so okay. I may be short, but they are all tall. All of them. They are all tall. Like I say this so much when people are like, "Jimin is tiny." No, he's tall too. Everybody's tall.
He can
I
stomp
think
you
they were
out.
so excited to see someone who was like 5'3", because then they were just like, "Yeah, we're definitely." I reaffirmed their height. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
Everybody knows the truth behind that mystery now.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I need to find the original of that.
Okay. Please post it on Twitter. We'll probably repost it on Fav for everybody around the world to know. I'm excited. So, what do you think is good about having fans such as yourself interview or write about BTS and ARMY versus someone who is kind of obviously unfamiliar or has very little understanding of both the artist and the fandom?
I think both are good sometimes. I think for like a hard news sense, both can be fine, but having that knowledge means less prep and stuff is needed, and there's an understanding you have, and you can go in and do the job. But I think there's an argument for both journalistically. I think people look at it from like if BTS were to commit a crime, the fan can't report on it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like it's a conflict of interest. But they wouldn't do that if it was a footballer. Just like in fandom in general, that wouldn't be the case. If it was anything else, that wouldn't even be considered. Like we have websites just dedicated to football, where
Yeah.
each reporter is, I was going to say a different fandom, but I mean a different team supporter. So they
Yes.
keep up with different teams. If we had that in K-pop, and there was like an ARMY one and a different one and a different one and a different one, I think it would work great, because then you'd have someone across the board who understands it. If you have someone who doesn't understand it entirely, it could work, because there's always going to be a journalist who writes about something they don't understand. I think what was it? At one point, I almost wrote about Bitcoin, and I was like, "What am I looking at?"
No, understood.
Literally, I would get there
Okay.
in the end, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that actually brings another question to me. I know to an extent you were pretty well known because you are one of the people that started um, the UK Army fandom. But when Army realized that the person that did the interview for BTS from BuzzFeed was an ARMY herself, not only an ARMY herself, has been supporting them since before they actually debuted. How was that response?
I think it was really adorable because I was hiding in plain sight for so long. I didn't even hide. I never hid my identity. There were so many replies of me under the BTS account for so long. And I was very open with the fact that I used to run that account and that I was a BuzzFeed reporter and everything. Like it was just so, it was very public, all of it. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, they really did see me. And it was overwhelming at one point because my phone just died from the interactions.
Yes.
So I had to use the like a desktop just to go through my phone, my Twitter mentions and stuff. But it was like an embrace through the internet. It was cute.
Oh, I'm glad.
It was just like, yeah, it was really nice actually.
I'm really glad. Actually, something just came to mind. You mentioned that nobody knew you were a fan at BuzzFeed. So how did you land the gig?
Okay, so they knew that I was a fan of Korean stuff. It was a very vague thing. So my now ARMY friend, Ellie, forwarded me the email. She's like, hey, do you want to do this? I flew over to her desk straight away. I was like, Ellie, I want to do this. I want to do this so bad. I want to do this. And they had different artists mentioned in there. And I was like, I will even interview them too if it means I can have BTS.
Yeah.
I will do it. And then I don't think she realized how big of a deal it was. It didn't register. And whatever. She told them that I was a fan and whatever. And for some reason for them, it didn't register either. and then when I did it, they were like, oh. And you might have noticed something, actually. Am I allowed to say this? I'm sure it's fine. Everyone but me had to delete their selfie with BTS.
Oh?
Because I think with me, it was that it had gone too viral at the time, and I was an ARMY.
Oh, okay.
But everybody else...
We kept your selfie on the internet.
We get perks sometimes. We may not be chosen for features. But we get little perks.
Okay, I'm really happy for you. Yeah. That's great.
I think they did want it gone at first, but then they were like, actually, it's fine.
It's fine. They know about amazing. All right. Well, your job sounds really cool.
Thank you.
So and I'm sure it is, what advice do you have for fans who would like to go into journalism and writing?
I think write anywhere you can. Write on your own blog, make your own blogs. I think I made so many websites, like with my friends, like as a project, and some that we tried to like pursue seriously, and that's eventually what people did end up seeing. It's gone now, otherwise I would say it. Yeah, your uni paper, if you don't go to uni, it's fine. Literally, the internet, just pitch. That's one thing I would say is the biggest thing. If you're over 18, you can pitch an idea to any outlet and they will consider it. Like, don't wait around for someone to do a half-baked idea of yours, because you might be the right person to write it. You might be the one with the time to write it. Because I sometimes see people saying, oh, why is nobody writing about this? I'm just like, pitch it. Nobody has the time. Or nobody understands it like you do. Like, literally, just pitch. I wish I knew that I could just pitch to places. It would have probably gotten me ahead further at some point.
You heard it. You heard it, journalist armies. You can do it, according to Ikran. Just start. I think that's great advice. Just do it.
Do it right now.
I'm gonna take a look. Do it right now.
200 words.
That's the lowest I heard her voice go today, so that scared me. Do it right now. Fantastic. Go for it, guys. And even if you have some ideas, Fave is a wonderful place for you to pitch the ideas, and you'll probably get a lot of encouragement from it. I'm sure if you shoot Ikran a tweet as well, she may respond as well. I'm going to head into the Fave chat real quick just to see if there's any questions or comments for you, Ikran. Oh, I have one from Speckles of Purple. Just wanted to hop in here and tell Ikran thank you for supporting BTS for so long.
So cute.
So thank you, Ikran.
So cute.
Let's see. Yes. Okay. So obviously with the pandemic, it's been hard on both BTS and ARMY since we're both eagerly waiting for live concerts to come back. How have you been connecting with other fans and staying positive during this time?
I mean, like most armies, I've been watching the live concerts and the concert replays. And at one point, for one of the live concerts, me and my friends had a sleepover. I think it was around this time last year. And we just watched it together like it was a gig. We had our army bonds and cried, laughed, and everything. So that was like one way of recreating a concert.
That's
yeah,
so nice.
I know.
With the homies and everything, you probably had a good time, a good time frame too. Because I remember me and my bestie, we were texting each other through the concert, but it was like 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, we did. It was like I think 7 or 8 a.m. So I was like, I brushed my teeth and I ran to the seat straight away. Yeah, it was a good time for us actually. Oh, didn't realize it was like 3 a.m. for you guys. That's mad.
For BTS.
I would do it too. I think I have.
I believe you. You kind of get into the hang of things after a few years, right?
Literally.
Okay, thank you.
It's happening again soon.
A bit of a tough. Oh, that's true. So a bit of a toughie, but take your time. How has BTS been an inspiration for you?
I think their drive is inspiring. That despite everything, they just are very resilient and keep going and are just getting stuff done. Sorry, I almost swore again. But yeah, that's the main thing.
No, yeah,
I know that they come on, like most of us, I'm sure they want to like cry about the pandemic, but they won't. They want to be resilient and they want to keep pushing until they can see us all again, and they will soon.
They will. Yes. I'm excited for them.
Did you get tickets?
I didn't manage to get tickets, but goodness gracious, I have good friends that bought one for me. Thank you, friends. So I will be attending for sure. And I really hope that the people that deserve it get to go too. Okay.
Well, if they open up the borders.
And if they open up the borders. I hope there's a surprise out of nowhere. It's like, hey, we're going to be in Europe now. Like, that'd be great.
That's not happening.
What do you love about the ARMY community?
I love how amazingly diverse it is. Like, I don't mean just like ethnically. I also mean like job-wise, professionally. Like with this Ticketmaster stuff, I think I've seen we could literally start a courthouse session right now with all these armies. Like we could even pull a jury together from the general public. Like
that's true.
It is true. It's
lawyers,
insane.
doctors, nurses, architects, moms, dads, little brothers, big sisters, all different types of
IT people, everything.
All different types of.
And we could have been using our power for bad, but we're not.
We could have definitely made our own community. We would have had our own doctors. We would have had our own teachers. Crossing guards, everything from beginning to end. Well, about ARMY. What do you wish more people knew about us?
That we do have other interests. Yes, we're armies, but that doesn't mean we're still not watching the same dramas you are, and we have other, like, we do sports. It's just like, I think there's just this massive misconception that if you're an army, that's all you like. Come on, I was trying to get Givian tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and I think you said you were listening to him
Yesterday,
yeah, like, our playlists are varied.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think honestly, that I don't think if I think lots. I think some people just get super excited and play, like, but that's what I do when a song comes out. I loop it by accident. I want to hear it again. But
Of course.
I think there is this misconception that we don't have other interests when we do. We have other likes and interests, be it musically or sports wise, that are completely disconnected from being an army. And I think
And it's
that
normal
should
for
be
an interest to be
celebrated.
bigger than another. What was
Yeah, I
that?
think
Sorry?
if you, and I said I think that should be celebrated. I think it's unhealthy
Absolutely.
when if you cling your identity on just to one thing.
Yeah, ARMY has actually been a gateway for me to make really good friends that have other similar interests that
Yeah,
I have.
same. Literally
Mhm.
same. Yeah.
I was there crying with other people about not being able to get My Chemical Romance tickets. Thank you, Ticketmaster, again.
Oh. Oh my god! You just reminded me. I had tickets and they're gone now.
Yeah. You actually
Yeah.
managed? I clicked on a $50 one, and as soon as I clicked it, it turned into 800.
No, but pre-pandemic, obviously. Rest in peace to that.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, it was the MCR concert
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah,
selected it, and my $50 ticket turned into 800. But that's another topic for some other time. I hope you lawyer armies are listening. So, what is something you would like to tell new armies that have recently joined the fandom?
I think you have so much to consume, so much, like, not just performances. I mean, all the TV shows. Watch every single one of them. In the Soup, Bon Voyage, Run,
American Hustle.
Rookie King. Rookie King is the most
Rookie
slept
King was
on.
good.
It was so good. It was so chaotic. Like, where else are you going to see BTS drink a cup of soy sauce as a punishment? Well, actually,
Yes.
I feel like that's very common.
Yes. Listener recommendations. Take your time, guys.
Literally, don't rush through it. Take it easy. Just by the time you finish, there will be a concert in your city. That's how much there is.
Absolutely. There will always be more for you to grab onto.
There will be more while you're watching. There will be new stuff.
She's right. Just from experience, yes, she's right. Now, is there anything you're excited about regarding BTS or ARMY that you're looking forward to?
The fan cams. Future fan cams.
The what? I'm sorry?
The future fan cams coming from LA.
Oh, the future fan cams. I saw that one tweet that's like, the ones that are going, better put those wrist exercises to work because I want that video crisp.
I want it still.
Yes,
I'm tired of still. Like, who's arm, who's oh. If you're in the front, I want to see it still.
So perfect, 4K, please, for free.
The new iPhone. Get the new iPhone, please.
Yes.
Cinematic, okay. Yeah.
It's been so long since we've had fan cams. That is something exciting.
Yeah.
Now you got me excited. Okay, let's see. One more question from our chat. Remember that you guys can hop back in here. Just one more question before your last question, Ikran. It says, what would you ask BTS if you had the chance to interview them today?
Oh. What, like one question?
Well, one of them. How about that? That way you're not limited. What's one of the several questions you would ask?
One of the questions would be, musically, where do they see themselves in 10 years? Because I know if I'm like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? They'll be like, me as a dad, me with a child. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry, I know you will be great fathers. We know that already. What do you want to do with your music?
Who's gonna pick up an instrument?
Who's gonna make the K-drama jump? Like,
you're right.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it. I can't. My heart would explode because it could be, honestly, it could be any of it. You know, you never know.
It could be any of them, literally.
Just for
Come on,
funsies, maybe
BTS
one
World.
of them.
They were amazing
They were
actors.
fantastic. They were fantastic. They can't lip sync, but they can act.
They can act incredibly well. But I think lip syncing thing is on purpose, which reaffirms their acting skills.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, thank you very much. So, finally, is there anything else you'd like to share that you want people to know? This can be about fandom, it can be about your background, or something you didn't mention, but we didn't mention, but you'd like to bring up.
This is so broad and vague. I could talk about anything, but I think that sometimes it's okay to say nothing. Like, I know I'm saying something now, but you might have noticed, Dani, I don't tweet as much as I used to, because sometimes it's okay. It's okay to just consume content, because generally that is what we're here for. Consume and be happy, and support one another. Just because one person on one part of the internet is making you mad doesn't mean you can't get rid of them. Just mute and keep pushing. Just keep vibing. There's just no point. Yeah.
Muting and blocking is not a sign of weakness.
It isn't.
If anything, if it betters you in making a better choice, then by all means. Excellent advice. Yes. So with that, thank you so much, Ikran, for taking the time to talk with me and Aries, and
thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for all your hard work and awesome representation in the fandom. And also thanks to all of you, everyone who joined us. We'll continue this conversation with all of you in the chat room. It's a little late for her. She might be heading off to bed, but you put it in there and she'll get to you.
It's almost midnight, but I will be up.
She'll be here. So if you didn't get a chance to ask, or I didn't get a chance to get you the answer on this live, you can right now. So thank you again, guys. Thank you, Ikran, and see you guys there.
All right. Okay.